So the last episode, if you haven't watched it, go and check it out, guys. We're in a position now on the last episode where maybe struggling to get it started, maybe feeling that little bit disappointed that actually, am I out of my depth? Is this something that's even going to be possible for me to fix or get running? And you just start to think to yourself, everything you've tried, everything you've done, it's just not working. Now you've got to bear in mind, 6 months ago I started fixing cars, starting with the basics, and now I'm not swapping an engine out as a like for like, I'm doing an engine upgrade. And it's just quite difficult to take in that maybe I was struggling and maybe it just wasn't possible. No way. She cranks. No way, no way. We've got a crank. Come on. She's running. Come on, lad. Cooling lights flashing. She sounds sweet as a nut. Wow, wow, wow. The Caddy lives once again. We need to turn her off in a minute because we can't run it with no coolant. Get up there, laddie. Guys, I am absolutely buzzing that we managed to get the engine started in the last video. Now, all I can say is a massive thank you to everybody who's commented on the... Now, first off, we're going to start by getting the drive shafts back in. Now we've got the engine in, now we've got the engine running, I need to get the drive shafts in, then I need to get the second bolt in that dog mount bolt under the bottom of the engine, and then I've got to look at this clutch, because for some reason, it just ain't happy. So doing the drive shafts are really easy. You've got a spline bolt and you've got 6 of them, and basically what they have is a little bit of strength in between. So every 2 bolts you've got a little plate that sits on there just to strengthen up that drive shaft, as you can see there. So all we're doing is putting the hub back together and getting this back on its wheels. All we're doing is just tightening up the last bolt that goes into the hub, and that blue screwdriver on the floor should be in there with the disc to stop the disc spinning, and then you can tighten up that bolt and then put your wheel back on. So last clip you've probably seen me start on the drive shaft. I've got that back in now. Everything's smooth. Discs obviously need moving off because they've got a little bit of surface corrosion there. So next thing I need to get done, I need to put a couple of little screws in. 2 screws missing there, so I need to get them put in. I need to put the coolant fluid bottle, get that fixed in. I've got to fix some of the wiring bits. We've now got rid of our MAF sensor fault, if you remember rightly. Deleted the codes, no MAF sensor fault, so I'm pretty sure that now I can wrap this wiring back up. What I am going to do is tape it up first, just like a couple of looms of tape all the way along, keep it exposed for another couple of weeks just in case I need to get something else done. But what I want to show you was the drive shaft stuff a little bit clearer. Now, try and show you guys as much as possible. The other side was quite difficult to show you, but if you can see inside there, I'm going to move the camera in a little bit more and try and get a better angle. So that's the drive shaft there. Now once you get your drive shaft connected, as I said before, you've then got these bolts, so you can see the holes behind. These 2 are going to sit in the drive shaft, and it almost just pairs them up, doubles the strength. So that's how you do it. There's 6 holes in total on that drive shaft, and all you do is quite easy. I mean, I take the drop link out up the top, I disconnect this bottom arm here. I take the track rod end out, which is over there in the corner, and then that leaves me this little space here. Now I am going to have to lift this up, and I'll get the first nuts in, then I'll show you exactly what you do, but it is just a case of literally putting them 2 nuts inside there, like so, offering it up and then tightening it. So now I've got the drive shafts in, I've got to get that clutch bled. Now let me show you what's happening. So I was having a nightmare getting the clutch bled, and a lot of you guys in the comments and on TikTok said that I need to replace this unit here because I've broke it, because I actually put pressure into the top of the tank. It's like a bleed pressure or a bleed kit, and I blew this out. So I went over to a local company near me called Morgan Auto Salvage, who absolutely saved the day again. So a massive shout out to Morgan's in Gisborough for sorting me out. This is the old part, and as you can see, let me show you how knackered it was. So you'll have to excuse the mess, but this is supposed to go inside that hole, but that black plastic is not meant to be on there. So when I put the air pressure in, this thing flew out and I snapped this unit. So I bought a new one from Morgan's for 25 quid, which I think is a fairly decent price, and it was from a Seat Leon FR. And then that's the new units there. So this is where this cable comes out of the right hand side of this bleeding kit, and it's just a cable that pushes right in. This is the bleeding unit here itself. So I've replaced that, and now that has stopped leaking, but I have got another leak underneath. So again, back in the workshop, what I have done is pulled out the clutch pedal. There's 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3 on the clutch pedal to get it out. Now this is the master, I think it's master cylinder, master slave, it's one of them words, and this is basically one of them here that I accidentally snapped because I'm rock hard. So that goes through there, goes in the back of your pedal, as you can see, and in the back of your pedal you've got these 2 white little clips that hold that in, and that pushes the pedal in and out, and that applies the pressure. Now this here is where the bottom, so that black thing, goes up into a pipe and comes up into the master cylinder there. It's a master cylinder, master slave. Now this little bit here, plastic bit, had come loose, so I think the air pressure had moved it in the pipe because it wasn't leaking for a while. So I'm going to put that back on, and I'm going to try and see if it leaks again. If it leaks again, I think I might have blown this. Now I did snap this one as well, as I just said, because I'm rock hard, but I have got the original Caddy one that I did take out. So if that one's knackered, I'm going to replace it with the Caddy one. So I'm going to take you guys with me, and we're going to fit this clutch pedal, because I don't know if many people know how to do it, and why not? It's a 2-minute job. So it's going to be hard to record, but see that hole there, and you've got 3, there's the hole, you've got 3 screws, 1, 2 and 3 up here somewhere. Further up you've got 1, 2 and 3. Now this pedal just manoeuvres in around your plastics like so, and then all I'm doing at the minute is just popping 2 bolts on it just to keep it safe and secure, and then all we do is just tighten that nut up. I've only put 2 nuts on for now, so I want to make sure. It's still going to wobble slightly, but that'll do for now. Right, I think I should at least show you her starting up. Now I've started putting things back together inside the cab, but let me show you what I've done. Now it is only temporary, and yes, it's a bodge. So these are the 2 wires. Now the reason I've bodged them in at the minute on one of these fuse holders is because I'm waiting for a tool to be able to crimp into the back of the fuse box. So this is the 15 amp direct feed, and this is the 5 amp for the fuel pump. But I'm pretty sure she should just fire up straight away now. Now it's only temporary until I get the clutch and everything sorted, just to make sure she runs. Make sure we're not in gear, which we're not. She starts up straight away. Now she's loud at the minute because I haven't got the exhaust attached, and she's got a boatload of lights on there, but the only ones really we're bothered about is the airbag light, which I'll sort out once the seats are once the seat's on, I'll get them corded out. Engine management light, because the coil light's on, again I need to look at that, but she sounds decent, but like I say, she's loud at the minute because the exhaust is not attached. But yeah, so we're just trying to get all of these lights off the dash at some point, but at least she starts temporarily. She starts on the ignition live, she's running. So it's quite dodgy, I think, this, just to see. So I've now got a good gear stick. Let's get it started up maybe. Fires up first thing. Let's put the clutch in. It's gone into first gear. Right, clutch doesn't feel right though. Yeah, clutch is still not right. But we've got some movement there. Let's try second gear. Yeah, definitely a problem with that clutch. It doesn't feel like it feels quite flat. But we've got a clutch. We've got a clutch. I don't know why. It feels like I've got half a clutch. It could be that master cylinder. I might have absolutely foobarred it. She's a mover, but something's still not quite right, and I don't know what it is yet. You can see now we're starting to look that little bit cleaner inside here, but I seriously think I might have knackered that master cylinder, because what I've done is, and believe me guys, do not make this mistake, I have a pressure bleeder, and I put the pressure bleeder on, but I put it on when that was like 38 psi in the tyre, which when I put it on, it like boom, like all the fluid blew out, and the top out of that cap under the bleed nipple blew out as well. So don't be that person doing that. So I must have knackered, because I've tried bleeding it, and this is where you've got, like, I know it sounds dafty, but this is where the experts will know exactly what the problem is. So your likes of Nathan and the guys at DTE, they'll know what to do next, and I sort of don't, which is, I'm learning, don't get me wrong. I've never bled a clutch, I've never put pressure into the tank to bleed out, I've never done any of that. So let me show you the pedal and show you what I'm saying. And I still need to fix the door handle. I mean, look at this, I've got a little plate missing off the back of here, and I can't put my door handle in. So that's going to be next on the list, because it's peeing me off. I know why the brakes aren't working, or the brakes aren't talking to the ABS, because I've had to borrow one of the fuse holders here for the ABS for the brakes. So I know why that doesn't work, so I'm not concerned yet. I do need to put these wires into the back of the box at the minute, because it's just a bit messy, and I need to get them out so I can put the original fuses back in, because it's stopping other things from working, and that's why I'm getting more lights on the dash. So the clutch pedal, again, I'll show you what's happening. Like nothing, and then it's here. It's like half the clutch pedal, can you see? So something can't be right. Something's got to be wrong here. But surely that classes as running and driving. It runs, it's gonna move, but yeah, I just need to get out on the road. And guys, this clutch has been a pain in my ass. I've had 2 failures on this clutch, being the master cylinder, being the bleed nipple piece. I've had a real bitch of a week trying to sort it out, because as I say, the lack of support is hard. Unless I post these videos every day, I can't give you a full video of like 10, 12, 15 minutes. So look, do me a massive favour. Let me know what you think about that clutch. Maybe I do need to put the old Caddy master cylinder back in. Maybe I need to. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys would do. Do me a massive favour. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And in this next video, we are going to be driving this van. Stay tuned. Bye for now.